Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another review, this time of set 75404, the Acclamator class assault ship. This set retails for $50, which is about on the money for especially something licensed from Star Wars. Released this year. It is part of that Midi-Scale collection of ships. This is the first one I've ever gotten, and probably the only one for a little while, but it's 18 plus, so plain black box art with a slight orangey looking hue behind it, which would make sense since it shows up on Geonosis mainly is where you're gonna have seen it from in Attack of the Clones. Nothing too crazy, just restates the name in a different language that would look like French to me. Shows a scale of a piece from the set, since obviously no figures. Shows the Acclamator from a top-down perspective, Starship collection on the side, and it shows off a clip from it, or it shows off an image of it from Attack of the Clones at the very end of the movie. And then the dimensions over here, 9 inches long and looks like 6 inches tall when you put it on the stand. A decent little size display ship, and then you open it up with the push tabs right here. Since it's 18 plus, it's got a little bit of information at the front before you start the build. It's talking about the Acclamator a bit and showing what looks to be concept art from Attack of the Clones for the ship. So that's pretty neat right here, as well as something from the lead designer, the overview, the guy for the design. The front, really quick, is obviously is pretty plain, but I think it works a little bit as a neat little thing as opposed to most recent of the past couple years instructions where it's just like the bricks and like, I don't know, it's just a slightly neat cover. Not that it's that crazy. Then for a second page of information, you've got, looks like that would be a render maybe from Clone Wars, if I had to guess. And then some in-universe information about it. It's a heavy troop transport. In-universe, it's 752 meters long, 183 meters tall, and 460 meters wide, with 24 laser cannons, 12 quad turbo laser turrets, and 4 missile launch tubes. And then that information just repeats in French and Spanish, and then the instructions start on the next page. So let's get this set built. All right, now that the set is built, let's take a look at this model. Starting off, the stand is rather basic, so nothing too crazy to go over here. Just that, you know, it's got the printed tile saying Acclamator class assault ship with, you know, the Lego Star Wars logo, and then nothing else really. It's just wide enough to stably hold up the Acclamator, and connects with about that many studs. Right on the dark gray brick right here is the intended connection point, I believe. And then the actual Acclamator itself is very good looking, very sturdy. I feel most places, if you're going to be holding on to it, should be able to hold the weight of the whole ship. Admittedly, it's not like huge, so that helps with it, right? It's not big enough to have massive stress being put on anything, but this was a really fun build. You know, they really did the angles well to get the shape of the ship, including on the underside here. The engines are really nice looking. They're very sturdy in there. They're not completely unbreakable if you grab them from the wrong point. There's also quite a few roller skate pieces used in this set, so if you really need some roller skate pieces and you don't want to build the Acclamator, you know, I think this might be the set for you. There's one in the front there, there's a couple near the bridge, and there is 4 on each engine. So, and I think there's a few more throughout the set as well. The bridge shaping is really nice. This probably the most fragile piece. Obviously, no one in their right mind is gripping for that bridge, so it's okay to be a slightly shakier connection, I think. But it, you know, they got the shaping down real well for it. It looks really good, looks real sleek. This back piece right here, whatever the term would be for in universe, I'm not sure, but it looks really good as well. The shaping is also very good on this, and it is another fairly sturdy place, you know. it is able to support the full weight of the model on itself. Though, again, I think the more natural thing for most people is to just hold it widely in the bottom, and it is small enough that you can grip it in one hand pretty easily. It's not a ginormous model. Got some nice printed pieces here though for the Republic markings, which was nice to see. I think part of it is just, especially I think the Republic logo is a somewhat common piece, so that's why they're able to do it, but I wish it was the standard. 18 plus stuff should have lesser stickers or none at all. At the very least, a reduced amount that, a playset would get. That is my opinion on that, but you can also pop this open. It's not really intended, mostly because obviously in universe the inside of the ship is not bright orange, lime green. So, but you can see the little details. If you see those white studs right there, that's meant to be a little nod to some either clone troopers or gunship LAATs, because those are both mentioned on the page where you put those on. They put a little note about how many LAATs it carries and gunships and all that, and clone trooper numbers. So that's a little nod to that, though it is like that mostly to get the shaping right on the underside. All in all, it's a very sleek little model. It's a very, very nice display piece, and I think thankfully it is also one of the better priced of the Midi-Scale ships, which is a little shocking because obviously Lego has gone very heavy on prequel stuff these past couple years, really focusing on like nostalgia for those adults and trying to get all their money out of them. So you would think it would be a little more shittily priced, but it's actually the OT ships and then the one Kylo Ren ship that have been like the worst priced. This one pretty fair, I think. $50 and you get a very nice looking display model. It can go on a desk or a shelf or anywhere, and also pretty like swooshable and stuff. Not that, I don't know if a kid's really gonna want to play with it, but like it could be played with in theory and not be broken or anything as well. So definitely a pretty good set. Definitely a good one for pickup if you are a fan of the prequels, if you like the design for the Acclamator, any of that. So that is all I have for this one. If you enjoyed the video and you want to see more Lego content, make sure to leave a like, subscribe, do all that, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.